All right, so now we're going to go over the tutorial on how to use my data report database. So as you can see, it's still going to have the same data from the previous video. So you're going to see the UIC, PeerDB, SRB, etc. So all that information is still set up here as from the previous video. So now we're going to go over the tutorial. So we're going to start off with the soldier information. So when you click on soldier information, I call this like pretty much your little mini ERB. If you don't want to go and log in into Imilpo and get more information, I still recommend to get the ERB when you're processing a packet. So pretty much you just click on the soldier's name. It's going to tell you the information, what company they're in, if they're on orders, time on station, if they're EFMP or if they're MACP, if they're promotable, etc. So if we click, for instance, let's just say on this particular person, all the information is going to change, what company they're in, they're promotable, they got points, they're on orders to this location, time on station, etc. So it's like I said, a quick mini ERB. You want to print it out for your records or anything you want to give it to the soldier. Here it is. You just hit print, and then there's a little preview. Don't click on this badge because it's gonna not take you anywhere. This is just part of the little processing here. Just click on this badge, and then it'll take you back home. All right, so next thing is going to be the soldier eligibility. Soldier eligibility, this is a form that I customize, and pretty much in here I cover a lot of stuff. If you notice, it's kind of similar. Looks like the FORSCOM role counseling, and then you get signed by the unit commander. This one is different because it'll get signed by the actual career counselor. So you're counseling them. You keep this in your file so you can show that you actually counsel the soldier if you want to use it or not. So pretty simple. You just go and you click on the soldier's name. And then as soon as you click on the soldier's name, if it gets into a stop, just pretty much stop because you can't really counsel the soldier. He's not under reenlistment window. You just got to let him know, hey, can you come back on this day or before that, and we'll start processing a packet. So this is just a little sign to say, hey, stop, soldier's not on the roll, so you don't process a contract that is not on the reenlistment window. So let's just say if we're gonna pick another name, and we go and we pick on this particular person. Once we pick on this person, as you can see there, this one is on the window and it says good to re-up, so good to continue. So the next step we're going to do is, so all this stuff is already kind of set up here. If you notice, it says balance. That means that MOS is balanced and it changes. So let's say we pick on this person. It says shortage. So that MOS is short 60 at whiskey. One, and I get that with all that information from the actual in and out calls that I tell you that to import into the database to work. So if you don't have the correct in and out calls, then you're going to give false information. So make sure you have the most up-to-date in and out calls as well as SRB. All right, so once we continue, we're going to continue to the next step, which it says if the soldier reenlists this date, and this date is calculated for your AOS. So normally what I do, I will put today's date if I'm counseling the soldier. So let's say today's May 29, and then here's going to tell you the AOS for that soldier. That's really all that is set up, and that's just saying that's the day you counsel the soldier, if that, and then you just put the date of the day you counsel them when you print it out. So in here it says that this soldier is a sergeant. So let's just go ahead and put that the soldier is a sergeant. So if the soldier is a sergeant, here's telling me two things. It's going to tell me, one, the soldier's RCP, and how many years the soldier can re-enlist. And obviously here are the options. The soldier qualifies because the soldier is a second term, which is a mid-careerist. So let's say if we put in here that he's a promotable, if you notice, the RCP is going to change. So we click sergeant promotable, boom, the RCP changes, and then the re-enlistment years is not going to change. So let's just say he wasn't a sergeant, he was a specialist promotable. Well, let's see how many years the soldier can re-enlist. Now it changes. So now the soldier can only re-enlist for 2 or 3 years, and then this is the soldier's RCP, and that's how we track it. And then it also tells you that the soldier is good to continue service. But let's say he was a regular specialist. Let's say he was a regular specialist. it tells you the soldier exceeded RCP, so that means it's something that you cannot, it's just giving you a little warning that, hey, the soldier cannot re-enlist because of RCP. So we're going to go ahead and put it back into specialist, so good to continue service. Also, if you notice here, is the bonus here. So in here it tells you MOS gets a bonus. So if it tells you right here the soldier qualifications, that means that's the soldier's SQI, ASI, and the language. So it would tell you pretty much when you cancel, be like, look, at this time you have no identifiers and your language is a YY. So yes, your MOS gets a bonus, but you do not qualify because you don't have the PAPA identifier in pretty much you don't have it, so you can't qualify for that bonus. So that's the reason why I created this, was because I would get soldiers come in and say, hey, I get a bonus, but they didn't understand that they need to have the identifier. They just thought that since their MOS get it, and then it says airborne, then if I go airborne, I'll get this. So they didn't understand the whole process. So that's the reason I kind of created this, so the soldiers could kind of have an idea of how this works. Once you're done, like I said, you hit print, it gives you a print preview. Like I said, my computer is a little weird, but on your government computer it will work. So don't worry, I'll show the whole thing. My computer is a little weird. But yeah, so once you have that, you'll be able to print out the whole form, counsel the soldier, and you'll be good to go. Just click reset, and then everything would reset, and then you just pretty much pick on the next soldier. So we'll go on the next one, and hey, you can't re-enlist, sorry, wait until this date, and you could just cancel and let them know, hey, you gotta wait, and start working on the soldier's plan. All right, we're gonna move on. So that's the soldier eligibility. Now we're gonna go into the 3340. So 3340, pretty much all you gotta do for the 3340 is you select which one it is, if it's a re-enlistment or extension. So we're gonna start off with a re-enlistment. If it's a re-enlistment, you're gonna have Annex B. If it's not a re-enlistment, you click on extension. We know that we're not supposed to have Annex B, so it's not there. Same thing, you just go and you click on the soldier's name, and boom, everything is pre-filled out with you. All you do is hit print and then print it out, and you're good to go. If it's an extension, or it was a re-enlistment first, right? So we got the Annex B. If it's an extension, just click on extension and put to meet the SRR for Fort Hood, Texas. And then you're gonna have it in here. And that's pretty simple. You hit print. Then you move on to the next soldier. If there's a re-enlistment, just go ahead and delete this, and then pick the next soldier, and then we're going to let's go with this soldier, and then the soldier information changes, hit print, and that's how you process your 3340. It's pretty quick and simple. All right, we're gonna cover the smart book, this area at the end. 3286. In here, pretty cool stuff. Just go ahead and put the re-enlistment date, so 2018 05/29, today's date, and what re-enlistment option. So one cool thing about this that I like is, so we know when we do current station stabilization, we got to put the re-enlistment date. So once you put the date, you go in here and you put guarantee 1 to 18 months stabilization. The date is already set up in here, so you just click on it and it's going to be set up in here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. If not, you let's say doing corner station of choice, you go and you pick assignment to Fort Drum, New York. Everybody wants to go there. Just go put assignment to Fort Drum, New York, and then boom, it's in there. If the assignment is not there, I'm just making up, just leave it blank, and then put assignment to Fort Couch, home, and then it'll be in there. Same thing for MOS, whatever MOS the soldier is reclassing to, and I'm just making up stuff, that's not the correct stuff that we got to input. Then it'll say MOS 19 Delta, and then if you're done, you want to start, and then it's gonna print out both forms. So you'll have the first page, and then you have the second page with the dates already set up in there. Then once you're done, just click reset, everything will clear, and then there's nothing in here, and then you just pick the next information. One thing to cover in here is something that I do is whatever the option the soldier is re-enlisting for, let's just say calling station of choice, I go on option 5, I double click on it, and then I open it. So this is just like a little counseling, you know, saying what the soldier is re-enlisting for. So in case they come back and saying, you didn't explain to me, or I don't know what this is about, blah blah. So pretty much here it says table echo 5, calling station of choice, re-enlistment option, and then there's all the information, and I have the punitive articles, pretty much letting them know, hey, don't get in trouble, because just because you re-enlisted don't mean that you're gonna go there no matter if you get in trouble or not. So pretty cool stuff if you like it. If not, you know, you don't have to use it if you have your own stuff, just something to help out the counselors. Now we're gonna go to the 4591. So this one, so I have it a little set up a little different. Some will start the 4591 at first, you do your timeline and everything. I like to do it towards the end because I use my own work to do the timeline, and then this is just for me to cover it, to finish it up once I'm doing the contract and submit it with the packet. So I will go and select the name, and then it's going to pre-filled out the rest of the information, what term they're in, the re-enlistment, how many times they're re-enlisted. And here I'm just going to put, you know, 1, 2, 3 street, and they're in the city, comma, state, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's going to be in here the depth date. So let's just say this guy's BASD this day, so I'm gonna go ahead and put 2016. Let's do 03/20. All right, and then once I do that, it's gonna tell me the total inactive service once I put this. So once I click outside, it's gonna tell me the inactive time. So, you know, we do the math. You know, obviously I would do the math, but you know, let's say we subtract, you know, the day before that, 23 minus 20 plus 1 is gonna give me 4, and then 05 minus 3 is gonna give us 2, and then obviously 16 minus 16 is 0. So here's it gives you the total inactive time, and then you just do the rest, filled out, you know, when the soldier did the ASVAB date. So we're gonna use, you know, just this day. Was the soldier's rank? The soldier's rank, like I said, we already kind of have an idea, but this is kind of to help out for RCP in case the soldier is promotable and it's not updated on retain. So let's just say the soldier is promotable, and then it's going to give me the SRB, correction, the RCP, and then the APFT date. Let's say the soldier took one this date, height and weight 70. Well, let's just make up 72, weighs 150. Body fat, he's 0%. APFT, did the soldier pass? The soldier has a profile, none. Then the reenlistment date, reenlisted this day. How many years? Let's say he did 4 years. What option? Let's do corner station of choice, and what FY, and the soldier is FY19. And we go over here, and everything is going to be pretty much pre-filled out for you. And then pretty much if you want to go ahead and cover anything else, you could cover anything else, sign it, the total active federal service, inactive, and all that stuff is kind of pre-filled out for you. Like I said, everybody does it their way. This is just something that I kind of like to do it my way. So you could use it your way, however you want to. You're done. Just go ahead and reset, and then everything's going to be cleared out, and then you work on the next soldier. All right, so we're going to move on. So we're going to do BASD. All right, so I know some of you guys have their own ways of doing the BASD. So it might take you a little bit long, where you got to go on Excel and filter out, you know, the months and everything. Well, what I'm trying to do in here is, once you have your BAS or your PRDB set up here, I'm pretty much gonna help you by telling you what soldiers need to be counseled for that month. So if I click on the month of January, and give it a little bit of time to. All right, now this is. All right, once I click on the month of January, it's gonna tell me the names in here. My computer's going a little bit slow, it's acting up. So it's gonna tell you all the names of those soldiers that need to be counseled for that month of January. So all you need to do is go ahead and click on the soldier, that soldier's name. So for instance, this one's gonna be this guy, and then it's gonna tell me the soldier's rank. So if the soldier is that rank, then all you gotta do is go ahead and either, if you know that he's still a specialist, then he's a specialist. If it's promoted, then you click promotable. So let's just say he's still a specialist. Then what that's gonna do for me is pretty much one, tell me the RCP, and then pretty much you'll be set to go. And let me see what else. Okay, yeah, I was wondering why it wasn't working. But yeah, so another thing I'm gonna help you out is I'm putting your MOS strength in here. It's gonna tell you what the soldier's strength is in there. So like I said, I'm sorry, my computer's running a little bit slower than usual. I don't know why, but I want to make sure this video was put out before I pushed out the database. But yeah, that's really it. We know that, like I said, all this information from the PRDB is not correct, so I changed some stuff out. So we know that 30 level will be a stats arm, but for purposes of the video, I put the different ranks. So, but all this stuff will be proofed out correctly once you have the PRDB, because I don't want to put out soldiers' information out there. All right, you hit print. Yeah, so you hit print, and it'll print out, and you move on to the next soldier and the next soldier and all that. So you could give it to the company commanders or first arm, so they could counsel the soldiers. ForceCom, here's the ForceCom original counseling. All you gotta do is just click on the soldier's name, and then everything's gonna be pre-filled out. The same thing, I'm already helping you out by putting the MOS strength, so I'm putting shortage. So all you gotta do is circle it and then send it out, and then if in case you use this counseling or not, or whatever method you use to counsel the soldiers on their retention options. I'm giving you a different method or different types of counseling, so you could help out the soldiers get all the information they need for retention purposes. All right, so we're gonna move on. So we already did ForceCom. So this one is a 1506. So this one, I'm pretty much helping you do a 1506 with the math. So in here, you just put the name. However you do. So in here it says last name first, so go ahead and put last, first, middle initial, social 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, the unit, first BCT, I'm making up some stuff, 1 2 3 street. Then station, I am in the greatest place in Fort Drum, New York. And then all this stuff will be filled out for you. All right. In here, I have a little legend, and it tells you for when you're selecting the status, what status is it? And here's a legend to see what stands for what. So let's just say this guy started National Guard, and he was enlisted. Once you click enlisted, it's going to pretty much populate over here. So let's say if I click warrant, it's going to select warrant. Or if I click commission, it's going to click on some X on commission. So we're going to do enlisted. And let's just say the start date was 2016 05/27, and the end date was let's just say 2016 05/28, right? So pretty much, if you notice, I haven't clicked outside the box, so that's why it's not populating here yet. But if you notice, this is already broken down by year, month, and day over here. So once I click outside this box, it's gonna pretty much do the stuff over here, and it's gonna do the service computation as well for this date. If there was some lost time, let's say there was a lost time of 1 day over here, it's gonna show over here and there. If not, just leave it blank and then you'll be good to go. And then you go to the next part. So let's say it was active duty, enlisted, and let's say 2016-05-29, right? Because it's the next day. And then here we're gonna do 2016-06, or let's do a little longer, 07-14. And it's gonna do the work pretty much for you. Now let's say you know, we're just doing for video purposes. I delete this time, and then this is when the soldier pretty much went to present, like now he's fully active. Just go ahead and select present, and it's gonna show present, and then you're pretty much done. So if you have more, you know, we've done 1506s where it takes long, like where we have multiple 1506s, right? So all you got to do is continue working on here and then hit print and then continue on the timeline. But let's say you reach the last page, and you already have a deems and everything, right? So if you notice right now, there's nothing in here, it's all blank. So what I would do is you will need to put, like again, I'm just making up dates, 0524. The BASD is 2016-05-27. The PEBD is 2015-04-24. And the new ETS is 2021-03-21. All right, once you do that, it's going to be inputted in here. So if I delete one of this one, right, I deleted the ETS, it's not going to show in here. So once you're done, just put the new dates in here, and it's going to be pre-filled out in here. If not, just continue working on the pages. If you got 5 pages, just work on the timeline with the pages, and then once you reach the last page, then put the dates, and then they'll be pre-filled out here, so you don't have to worry about typing anything in here. And then once you're done, just hit preset or correction reset, and don't worry about this. End it, because I will do that. There's a little issue in there, but I'll fix it. And then it's gonna delete everything else in here. Let me see. Yeah, so we're gonna move on. I will fix it. Everything will be set in here. There's a little code that I have in here. Everything here is locked, so you won't be able to fix it, and so they don't manipulate the codes in here that I have. So there's one that I changed a code for this, so your counselor's name won't change. That I forgot to reset, because I will get that information from the UIC from here. So I'll get that fixed. All right, and now we're gonna cover on the bars. So the bars, here all you gotta do is select where is it going. So if it's going to the battalion information is gonna be for filled out. So let me see, why is it not working? So okay, so you just select the battalion, where is it going, if it's going to the battalion or brigade, and then once you, let's say, select battalion, we pick the soldier's name, he's going to fill out everything else in here, the ETS. We don't know the bar initiation date because we haven't put the date yet. So let's just say if it changes to the brigade, if you notice, it's not longer going to say 10th BSB, it's going to say first, pretty much first brigade, that's the brigade I'm in. So it'll change. So we'll put it back to the battalion. Go back to the battalion. Let's go ahead and put today's date. And then I was going to tell you the initiation date, and then also the total active federal service for the soldiers initiation date, and the BASD is already off. The computation is already set up for you. Next thing you got to do, what's the reason for the soldiers getting barred. So let's just say the soldier failed to record APFT. It's going to X on the record APFT. If the soldier failed ABCP, then it's going to be here. So pretty much everything you're selecting here is going to be set up in here, and it's going to X for you. If it's none of those, just leave it blank. And then so let's just say for this instance, you know, we put a record APFT, and obviously it's going to be mandatory reason, because if we select anything here, the details in the description is going to be in here. So all you got to do in here is just type, you know, and once again, I'm just doing for the video purposes, you know, soldier failed APFT on this date and this date, or you know, whatever stuff you want to input. Once you put in there, then it's going to be populated in here. So let's just say if it doesn't go on the mandatory and it goes under other, then just go ahead and select other, and it's going to go on the other, in case you thought that you screwed up when you started it. So, you know, we change it back to other, and then the last thing, you put the enclosures to find out, figure out what you're doing on the packet. So there's an SRB, there's a 4856, the soldier got counsel, there's a 268 for the flag code, etc. Whatever stuff you got, you're gonna put in here. Then the information is gonna be in here. If not, if there's nothing in here, just put, you know, in here, we're just gonna say, for instance, flag. Just type it in here, and then it's gonna populate over here, showing the another one in case there's nothing in there. And that's really it. Once you're done, just reset it, and then everything goes back to blank, and then you can start working on the you know, another bar, if you're working on another bar, or you just want to have it blank. And that's pretty much it for that. So now we're gonna go to the SmartBook. So two things, this is something new on this database. So now you're gonna have the SRB and the in and out calls, and this is kind of like your little way to look at MOSs to see what they qualify. So if I click on 9 Lima, there's nothing in here. If I click on 11 Bravo, it's gonna tell me all the 11 Bravos. If they're red, that means I don't get a bonus. If they're green, they get a bonus. So, you know, something quick, if you're talking to the soldier and they just want to know, hey, Sarn, do I qualify for a bonus? Well, let me check. And, you know, you tell them what they qualify, you know, pretty quick and simple, you know, just to let the soldier know, so you don't have to dig in through different books. Same thing for in and out calls. You click on 11 Charlie. Let's do 12 Bravo. If they're under strength, it's gonna turn green. Let's do 11 Bravos. Turns green. If they're red, you know, they're over strength, like I think 42 Alpha. And once again, my computer's is a little bit slower, but I promise you, your other computers won't be that slow, so you can see they're under strength. And yeah, that's your in and out calls. MOS, you got all the MOSs in here, what they are, in case you want to know what they are. You double click on the MOS book. It's pretty much a little smart book. Let's see if it open. So pretty much here it is. All you gotta do is just click on the whatever MOS, you click on it, and it's gonna tell you to that MOS. Then you could just go ahead and print it. If you want to go back to the home page, just click on this little box, and it takes you back to the home page. You know, you want to click on Diver, go find out all the information that they need to know, print it out, give it to the soldier. Or when you're building a packet, you have something to look at when you're building a packet, and that's pretty simple. And then that will be in here too. ASIs, here's all the ASIs in case you don't know what they are. Same thing, there's a book for the ASIs. Same thing as the MOS Smart Book, you just click on the ASI and it's going to give you all the information for the ASI. SQI, there's the SQI, same thing, there's a Smart Book for the SQI. And yeah, pretty simple. So in case you don't know what a Popeye is, you know, it's a parachute, or you know what's a Victor is a Ranger, a parachute. And all these are all different codes. So language, what are these code or codes? So it's just pretty much a book of all the codes that will tell you what they are. In case you don't know what they are, AEA codes, here they are. Pretty simple and really nothing. The only ones that have a smart book PDF will be the ASI, SQI, and the MOS. So just these three. All right. So we covered smart book. Now we're gonna go into trackers. So in the tracker, we're gonna start with mission stats. So before I get into the mission stat, I'm gonna go into the mission breakdown. So in here, I already have a little that show you how you break it. In here, I already have it set up in the database to help you and assist you how you break down your mission. So in case, so like I said, this database kind of set up for, well, it is set up for a battalion. So if you guys need more companies or batteries or anything like that, just let me know, email me, and then I could add a new column, a new row, and all that stuff, and then email it to you back, so you guys could have whatever, you know, as necessary battalions or companies or battery that you need. So in here I already have it. This is kind of like a little example. So this is 40% that you need for your actual FY percentage. So if you have 2 eligible for initials, let's just say if this was 4, the percent is going to change in here because of this percentage. So let's say 3 is 120. So let's just say we put 38.254. Is going to change, and it all going to come in total to tell you. So you could play with this. You could do your own math however you set up your mission breakdown. This is just me trying to help you out and have it on the actual database. So now once you figure out your breakdown, here you have where this is me helping you establish your glide path. So you do your start date, your end date. Obviously this for FY, and then it'll tell you the glide path for the FY. This is for the semi. So let's just say, you know, for this, for the second part of the semi, it ends this day, but let's just say it ends in July 14, just make up math. The percentage would change over here. Let's just do June 12th. It's gonna go higher. So it's gonna establish your glide path so you understand where you're at. Same thing with this. If we change it to 2018-05, and today's the 29th, so let's just do 30. It's gonna tell you we're at 99.26. So yeah, pretty simple. Nothing too crazy. Let me change it back. So it's 2018-09-30. All right. So in here, some of this stuff is locked because so you don't mess up the formula set up in here. But some of this stuff is you could actually change. So for instance, you could change your name in here. You know, you could put, you know, like my battalion's name is 10th BSB. You could put your name. You know, so I have it set up so you could put your battalion name. Then, you know, when you're moving to another FY, then you could change this. Same thing with the FY19. Then you could change the date over here, so you could change it to, you know, FY18 or FY19. However, you just type in here, you know, FY18, or correction, FY19, etc., whatever you want to do. This is not going to change. We'll leave it like that, initials. And then all you got to do is, once you establish your what your mission breakdown is going to be, all you got to do is go in here and find out how many you got eligible for HSC. So let's just say in here we have 8. ACO has, I changed it to 4. This one has 2, and Charlie has 1. Once you do that, then you do the objective. What's the objective depending on your mission breakdown? So let's just say this was 3. this one turns into 1, you got 1 here, 0 here. So how it's going to change is you change the eligibility, the objective, and as you're making, you know, confirming contracts and you're trying to find out your own stats for your battalion, then you change the what you've been confirming. So let's say out of this one, I got 2. If I change it to 2, the percentage is going to change. This is FY. So remember, it's going to go through this glide path. So let's just say if I have 1, it's going to turn is going to change. So just remember to change this and it will go with it. So, and then you do that for FY, initials, mid, and all that stuff. And here is going to tell you how many you need to accomplish and all that stuff. Same thing for the reserve. You just change in here, you put 2, and then I'll change the percentage. This one doesn't stay in color, so you just gotta I leave it blank, so I don't put no color in this one. So yeah, it's pretty simple. This is not going to change because this is the actual date we're in right now and how many dates we got left to accomplish mission. Yeah, so pretty simple. Like I said, if you need me to make any other lines to change, to add more companies and all that stuff, that's fine, or batteries, just let me know and I could fix it for you so you have a nice pretty one to brief on the commanding staff. SFL tab. So right now, like we went over before on the previous video, how this works is through the loss roster. So once you copy the roster that you get from your what I would say, location of the SFL tab, whatever unit, it's not the unit is going to be on the post when they send out to your brigades or units, however they send out the roster, then you just copy and paste it. Just make sure that they're in these columns. And then if you want to update, make sure you just put the pre-separation date to it's going to be May 28, 2018. Remember, this is going to turn blank, white, so there's not going to be no, you put yes. So once I go into the tracker, now I have 1 and 1 eligible. So you just do that if you want to update, and this will tell you the stats for the SFL tab. So it's pretty simple. Bars. This is just pretty simple. You just put the information, the last name, the company, the reason, and then the day that it got approved. So if I put you know, it got approved 15 May 2018, is automatically going to update the first review, when it's the second review, our second day review due, and the days that have been barred. So there's a formula in here set up, and then you just put the remarks. If they've been separated, you just put, you know, yes or no, and then you put the remarks when, whatever remarks you want to put, and then you could keep track of your SFL tab roster. Or correction, bars. BASD, here you just put, you go into your BASD, find out how many soldiers need to get council, and then you go in here and just put, hey, I have 27 that need to get council, 27 got council on the month of January, then you put me at 100%. If only 15 got council, then this is how many people got council, and then you could brief this, you know, to your leadership to let them know, hey, you know, I didn't get my this company missed out on this counseling, blah blah, and you could brief it, and that will cover pretty much the trackers. The reports, so this is something that you could pretty much pull your it's kind of helping you pull your eligibility roster based on the PRDB. So if I put today's date, 2018 May, and this is going off by ETS, and then I go and I put let's say 2019 June 15. Now this is going to give you dates or soldiers names for this dates. So if you're wondering, you're like, well, why is there no information? There's actually information if you drag down. So what I did here is I'm kind of also trying to help you learn on how to filter out in Excel in case you don't know how. So like I said, I'm not trying to insult nobody's intelligence, so I'm just trying to help make sure that everybody has an idea on how to use Excel. So what will happen is, you know, if we're trying to see who is eligible, you're pretty much gonna go here and select only the the grades that we get mission for. So it'll be specialist, sergeant. If you want to put status on sergeant first class and you want to do a little more research, so let's just say we do specialist, sergeants, and staff sergeants. Once we do that, the names are going to populate over here, and then you got the EROP codes. So if you want to just keep the 10, and you keep the 10. If you want to go and just keep whatever, let's just say the 9 Victors, then you keep the 9 Victors, and I'll tell you more information, and if you want to do a little more research. So this comes handy, just doing a little quick setup. So let's just say, let's say this guy did re-enlist and you want to keep track of it, just input hit yes, and it's going to highlight in green, and then put the remarks, soldier re-enlisted for Fort Hood or whatever. If the soldier didn't re-enlist, then just keep it blank, and then it's going to go back to blank. So it just gives you an idea of who have you re-enlisted to keep track of. Once you're done and you want to do a new one, so pretty much just hit reset, and it's going to go back to blank. So it's going to clear out the dates and everything, and no information is going to be in here. Like I said, my computer runs a little slow, so it'll be way smoother on your government computers. On orders, pretty much in here, I'm just telling you who's on orders, and then I'm already doing there's a formula here for your ETS minus report day. So if we know this soldier is going to Germany, that means that this soldier needs to, you got to kind of see who needs to take action. So Korea, Hawaii, these are the contestation of choices overseas. Like this one going to Fort Knox, hey, this one has 0 years, 7 months. Those are something you got to take action, so you could see. Like I said, you got to do these updates every Tuesday, so you could have a better idea who needs to. You got to take action, and then the roster, SFL tab roster. You already input it in here. If you copy and paste, you update the precept date if in case they have none, and then no, and just pretty much update it over here. You copy and paste it over here. And you have more questions for the roster, how you do the stats and everything, just let me know, because it has to be in this order. If not, it's not gonna work. And then last thing will be the calculator check. And this is just a little calculator that I have set up. So let's say you do the ETS day, or correction, re-enlistment, or enlistment day. So let's say soldier enlisted on 2016 04/24 for 3 years. No extension, obviously, no, because he's an enlistment. So he's going to calculate what's the ETS date. So now let's say there was a 17 weeks. It was 3 years and 17 weeks. He's going to calculate that for you. So now let's say there was no weeks, and there was a 2-month extension in that re-enlistment contract or enlistment contract. Then it's going to all auto-populate. AOS, you just input the re-enlistment date, 2018 05/29. How many years? The 4 years or 5. Let's do 4. And then day after ODTS. Remember, it says day after ODTS. So I'm going to put 2018 09/16, because the actual ETS is the 15. Then it's going to tell you that if the AOS is over 60, that little part is going to tell you at the bottom 60, but we know that retain is already fixed, so we'll be good to go. Service compensation, pretty much 2018 05/16, 2018 05/20. It's going to tell you how many years, months, and days. Total active federal service, once again, we do the re-enlistment date, 29. Minus the BASD, let's say 2016 02/15, and here is going to tell you. And pretty much that covers the tutorial of the database. I want to say thank you for everyone that uses my data report database. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me and ask me questions. There's a lot of stuff that I'm continuing to create that I will have a better idea that I want to implement into the database. My intent is not to do the job for you, it's just as a tool to help out career counselors on how to do our day-to-day basis, our job to help us, because I know there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown on our plate, and it takes a lot of our time. So I'm trying to help us take off a little bit of our time, but also continue to do your work, so we don't make any mistakes. But yeah, so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me or call me, and we could be able to help you, assist you with the actual database on how to set it up. Thank you for your time, and hopefully you enjoy the video. And like I said, once again, if you got any questions, please don't hesitate to call me or email me. All right, thank you. Have a great day.